Hi guys, I'm Andy. Welcome back to Backpacking UK, the YouTube channel that's all about hiking, backpacking and wild camping. Right, today I want to draw a line under everything that's gone on before this video. I'll explain my reasons behind my thoughts, my feelings and my actions with the intention of never bringing it up ever again. And likewise, I would like you to do the same too. Any comments will just be deleted, or just you'll simply be removed from the channel, because I think enough is enough. We all need to move on. So two groups in particular, maybe a bit of a third group as well. There's been enormous amounts of beef with the Durston cult fans and also the Hillerberg fanboys and some of the ultralighters as well. Now, myself, I don't really know how it got to this point. Durston Gear, I've owned their X-Mid V1, V2, also the X-Dome V1, V2. With Hillerbergs, I've owned the Soulo, the Acto, the Una, the Niac, the Nalo, and 90% of my thoughts and feelings in my reviews have been positive. But with these particular products from these brands, any sign of negativity is just blown out of proportion. What happens is people wind me up, I just end up winding them up. It turns into this snowballing effect of like keyboard tennis. Then a lot of people can't handle their emotions, start getting really personal, and it's just got way too much. Now, some of it, and sometimes you could argue a lot of it, might have been my fault. Me personally, just throughout social media like YouTube, Facebook groups, even Instagrams, although it's not quite as bad, some of the snobbery that I've seen and elitism, mainly from sort of Durston owners and Hillerberg owners and ultralighters, is really bad. And it's just my absolute pet hate. You know, what I'm trying to achieve with this channel is sort of get everyone into backpacking. You know I'm part of the problem because I've been promoting these brands as well, and some ultralight gear as well, so I'm part of the problem. But the whole belittling thing is like red rag to a bull with me. But after this video, I don't ever want to talk about any of this ever again. So first of all, let's deal with Durston. So I really like the X-Mids. I think it's an absolutely cracking tent. I think my only real bugbear was it could be bigger inside, and the new version 3, that's exactly what they've done. However, you would have thought I would have slated that tent to receive the comments that I did. It's just unbelievable. Likewise, you know, the X-Dome V1, now I've got to get over it. I just feel like I've been ripped off. You know, I had 500 quid, £494 missing out my account for nearly 6 months. And like Dan's replied to my thread, he was fully aware of the problem. Now he's saying it was rectified, the problem, which it clearly wasn't. Now somebody's lying. Either Dan Durston's lying or Easton's lying, but one of them is certainly lying. I don't care who. I'm going to move on. I just need to sort of deal with it. The way my channel runs is I pump all my money straight back into it. So me missing 500 quid out my account for 6 months means I can't spend that money on trying and testing other gear. So that really sort of did annoy me. I actually think personally my latest Durston X-Dome V2 video was extremely positive about that new version of that tent. You know, the other thing I've just got to deal with is, you know, certain brands are really good with their marketing and PR. Absolutely superb. And it's something that, you know, again, I might be part of the problem with that, but a lot of it is becoming absolute nonsense. It's going to waste people's money, and it's just going to get people actually into quite a lot of difficulty. And if you're high up on a mountain, it could potentially be life-threatening as well. So the brands and content creators, I think we all need to have a bit of a look at ourselves to make sure that simply doesn't happen. Now, one thing I didn't realise, and this is part of sort of my own sort of fault really, for not getting to know the Durston brand properly, because believe it or not, I don't actually spend an enormous amount of time on social media looking at sort of all the other aspects of it other than my channel, because it's just so consuming. But in the UK, we don't really have those sort of cottage industry brands that North America has. I think probably the closest that we're to is people like Atom Packs and say like Trekker Tent. Most of them are all sort of like big brands over here. But, you know, it's clear that over there, you know, people are willing to like buy in to like smaller brands and actually help them develop, where I suppose I'm used to expecting to buy a product and it being finished. I'm not expecting it to just have to keep being, you know, improved over time, and then in 5 years I've got really what I should have, what I personally was expecting right from the very start. There's also quite a clear difference in weather conditions in North America and the UK. I think that's led to a lot of confusion with North American brands selling over here, and also UK content creators reviewing North American gear as well. The wind is a clear one. I mean, that's caused a lot of problems along the way. But to be, like I say, the summary of the Durston thing is, you know, I felt ripped off. I've got to get over it. I now understand that, you know, some of those smaller brands in America, you've just got to expect to really receive not much more of a prototype with the view of it developing over time. So that's the Durston thing. I'm happy to apologise to Dan Durston himself and to some of the other people that I've been quite fiery with, and from now on I'd like to move on. So the next one is Hillerberg's. Now, oh god, I love those tents. I absolutely, the quality is unbelievable in my eyes personally. I think it is the best of the best, and to be fair, it should be, because Hillerberg tents are extremely expensive. However, and this is where it's a similar thing with Durston gear, right? I think that 90% of what I say in these videos is all positive, and 90% about all these tents I do genuinely love. However, they're not perfect. They're just not. Just off the top of my head, like things like the ones that I've had, like the shock cord elastic seems to go quite easily. The elastic on the inners seems to go quite easily. it's got the most annoying zips in the world. The ventilation isn't very good. There's often water ingress where there is sort of vents. You know, there's sometimes materials, even though it's silicone treated 3 times, 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside, they can retain water as well. The Curl-on fabric, which is a ripstop nylon fabric, albeit a very high quality, high tenacity fabric, but they're not perfect. So it's really difficult. People like have been hammering me for not saying their tents are absolute perfection, and I've been hammered for even remotely suggesting that there might just be a competitor to the brand. Now, you know, the whole Nortent thing, we know that's fully documented. You know, sometimes I do get excited about backpacking gear. That's why I've got this channel, because if I wasn't excited about the gear, I certainly wouldn't be doing what is primarily a gear review channel. I know I need to sort of rein it in a little bit, which I certainly will be doing in the future, but I'm certainly not going to stop recommending products that, and this is for all brands, where you've got something that's almost like 90% as good, but literally half the price. You know, that's I'm all about value for money. It's been on my about part of my YouTube channel page since day one, and that will not change at all. So again, some of the Hillerberg owners have had the wrath of me after, mainly a lot of it is just being wound up. I've also got a highly stressful full-time job. You know, I'll be like going for a walk in my lunch break, and after having a hard morning, and just get battered by the comments section. Get home after a hard day, look at my comments, and just getting battered again. And you know, maybe I'm not the right person to do a YouTube channel. I don't know, but you know, just trying not to react day after day after day after day is really quite difficult. The one thing I would like to say is that sometimes it looks like I've epically failed. Surprisingly, quite often those videos will have a 95% plus like rate, and often the more that I get hammered in the comments section, I'll then see an influx of new subscribers. So I think the thing is to remember, if you're really passionate about some of these big brands, is quite often you are actually a minority. And I even saw it in another content creator's video, which I don't usually watch his stuff to be honest, but it just caught me at the right time. And he was actually saying that it can be quite off-putting, you know, when you do get all this like fanboyism through some brands, it makes you not want to buy that brand's products, and it actually, as a content creator, makes you want to seek out alternative brands that could potentially be in competition to them. So it actually really can backfire if it's just way too pushy on a brand. But anyway, right, for my part in things, I would like a truce. The current state of the economy out there, my job is not going to get any easier at all in the near future, and I certainly can't be dealing with these continuously difficult battles. Some of it I'll put my hands up, it is my own making without a shadow of a doubt, but a hell of a lot of it isn't, that's for sure. I mean, even like yesterday, my decathlon video, loadout video, I'm wearing, I didn't even think about it, I'm just wearing like a through dark top like this, just a t-shirt I bought with my own money. This I bought with my own money. The one I wore the other day was with my own money. And you get comments like, you're just one big sponsorship ad, and it's like, I can't even wear branded clothing that I'm buying with my own money anymore. It's just bloody ridiculous. You know, it gets to the point where you just think, why do I bother? But anyway, I'd like to move on. Apologies for what I've done on my behalf. I will never mention it ever again. You have my word on that. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to promote backpacking. I'm not trying to harm it. So anyway, I'm not expecting you to like this video, but please check out some of my other videos, my non-controversial ones. Hope to see you backpacking soon. Cheers.